interested in, this concept of controlling humans through architecture. In literature also, there are some, very famous novel, George Orwell's 1984. Then in architecture, we have Panopticon, we have Michel Foucault's book about, this topic. So I read a lot about this. But then after COVID, after pandemic, I saw how all of this technology and all of these kind of things helped states, help government to have more control on the people. And they said it's because of you, it's because we want to protect you people. So, which is somehow partially right, but partially, they at the end use it for their control, for the power. So, but the thing is, at the end, we have machine, but we have also human who should sit behind the machine and control the machine. So it's not just really dystopia. From my experience, at least in Iran, it's not like very dystopia like George Orwell's, novel. It's a mixture of, technology, and then a guy who is human, who got, who has also emotions, feelings, and then at some point he got tired, he got exhausted, and at some point he's the guy who's supposed to not close his eyes at all, but at some point he's got tired and he wants to just sleep or take a rest. And then I thought, okay, what he would see, what would his dreams or nightmares when he closed his eyes. And then I came with this idea of mixture of those pictures, those images that he see every day in his computer, and his emotions, maybe the fear of people who he's looking for them, controlling them, or whatever. So the idea for me, the basic idea of the film was like this. When you give the data or I don't know, the identity of people, to a machine, it just change it to numbers. There's no other way. It's just numbers. So, but at the end, when someone controlling the people, he can see their lives, their families. He can saw them. Constantly. He can see. At the end, it's they would be a person instead of a number, because even for the guard, for the monitor guy, he have to talk to the people all the day. So even though in the machine, in the monitor in front of him, it's just a number, but after a while he would know many things about their lives. For example, the guy said, called and said, I don't know where's my daughter, which has happened a lot. And they have so many these kind of stories there. So at the end, he's a human being, so he would help. Maybe he would, I don't know, have some empathy with the guys there. And then at the end, hopefully, it's not only the faceless emoji. The emojis maybe change in their mind, not of course the machine, but in his mind, in a better human, shape. Screening the film in the festival is not just about show the film to the audience and give answers to them. For me, it's exchange. For me, it's like I'm waiting, I'm dying for people who ask, and really wants to know their perception. The one thing that it repeated in some of the festivals, from the questions or from the conversations with the audience, was it's not a local situation. I mean, everywhere, all of us have this feeling of we are under control, we are under surveillance. So even though the film takes place in Iran, and even though that it's harsh time for us, but it talks about a bigger picture. And I remember many years ago, when I was young, when a place was under surveillance, the owner of the place, or I don't know, it was mandatory to put a sign that this place is under surveillance. But now they're gone. So everywhere we're under surveillance, but without any warning, without any sign. So I think it's a bit, understandable for many people around the world. For me, it was really interesting. I was so happy that my film had a chance to screen in China, because I think this film is this kind of film that maybe also people there could understand it. The reality is, the world is so nuanced. It's not just monotone. Of course, we have some countries with much more, with dictatorship system, with much more liberal democratic system or whatever. But at the end, all of them are nuanced. So it's not just one line. It's not very simple, to understand like what we have in media, So I think, all we know from China is just from media. At least for me, it's from media, which is not, it's, of course, it's biased. So, but I think it's a big country, very nuanced, and Of course, I'm sure that there's also some resistance against this control from the people. It's very difficult to get permission of screening this kind of film, but there are so many private screening, or let's say underground screening. Now they're running, they screening many films, which I also screened my film there, and so many people watched it, and also lots of conversation afterwards. But for me, it's really important to show my film in Iran. Because I think for everyone, who works in industry, in documentary cinema, we want to change something. We want to make something to a better. With showing our films in our country, maybe there's a hope, little hope of changing something. But if we stop showing our film in their country, I know that it's very difficult, but I really wanted to do it, because at the end, it's for me, filmmaking is like an act of resistance. So we should, push. We should push in order to something change.